landscape of the national IPI agenda to understand its capacity and strengthen the IPI. The second one is to engage different stakeholders, develop a roadmap for strengthening the IPI programs and integrating activities, including and provide a combination of technical assistance, development advocacy, so this is one of the things that make sure that people operation laying the foundation integration of approaches such as strategic policy and so this is how now we have started the session. We have two presentations that we will have presentation. We have realized some of the issues that we like to achieve. For example, one of the MLP and also forming a better repository. We do have something that we can like this time that we were challenged what was the question and we came to our attention that so that's one of the issues that we so based upon that, now my ask you to speak. I know most of you are not aware that because of the priority but some time but I think that I never hear the office, but we are very grateful that despite all that share of the tension of the defense and sometimes credit to them, heritage. Is next not my way. Good morning. I think that's what I'm saying. We quickly go on to talk about the presence of Director Nyonga. I think that we performance improvement director from the Ministry of Dr. Mary Rosemary Mwanza. She spoke to me about that we recognize her. Dr. Sharma, our senior research advisor beside us. Dr. Peter Scombe, our research manager beside us. Dr. Moyo, here sitting as a consultant, but whenever I sit the committee, my president, the president, and the event. Bill and Gates Foundation representatives, I recognize you as well. I know Japai was here, the membership from Cyrus, significant group here, leadership and representative from the provincial health office, other members. I recognize you as well. It's good for me to be here because quality improvement, performance improvement are key to improving patient outcomes. Now, the Ministry of Health and Government believes in universal health coverage, delivering quality health care services as close to where people are as possible, without them feeling the consequences of spending
quite our way from their pockets. That's what we are believing in. Now, there are a lot of blocks that can enable us to deliver quality service and achieve universal health coverage. One is infrastructure, for instance. It's a big block towards universal health coverage. We need to have centers, we need to have hospitals. And our government has done very, very well in this area. This year, I think we are working on rehabilitating that which is existing and finishing off the works that have remained on the way as far as infrastructure is concerned. The building block number 2 is financing for health. And the support from government, the sector, is always encouraging. It's been encouraging over the past 2 years. And we are getting into areas now where we can address challenges of infrastructure and equipment. For instance, this year's budget rises up to 300% as far as equipment support is concerned. And because this has been a big thorn in as far as delivery of service is concerned. Equipment in our facilities at hospital level, primary, secondary, tertiary, both level. And this year, with simplified, smoothened procurement processes under our agency, ZAMSA, we hope to see a much more better, friendly environment for our health workers because of the presence of equipment, infrastructure. Number 3 is the building block of human resource for health. And again, the past year we've had a blessing of 11,000, excess of 11,200 members to join us. And we are starting now, I think the process to put them where they're supposed to be is finished. We still have gaps in that area, but we are not where we were a few years ago. With those improvements in the numbers, it's not always that quality should match that it is coming. It's not always. Key to improving quality of care is mentorship. And this is why we remain very thankful to strong partners that are seated here. We remain very thankful to you as partners. CIDAS has proven to deliver for us in the area of HIV and AIDS. They've been all the time there for us. During the COVID pandemic, we got gadgets, we got support, antibiotics, and all that from CIDAS. And so this relationship will continue. And the government remains very, very thankful. Now, I've just come from a meeting organized by the Health Professionals Council of Zambia, where they've called all the training institutions to come together. And HPCZ is taking them through what is expected. So the major concern now, if you tune to the radio, there will be challenges on equipment, drugs, and ministries aggressively addressing these two challenges. But there will be now a component of lack of responsiveness on the part of us as healthcare providers to the patient. And that defines quality. Quality is when I'm happy as a patient. I give that positive feedback. That's quality. And you hear a lot of complaints surrounding many of our facilities. And for me, that's the area that we need to move in. And so having many of our people being trained by institutions, and sometimes what we are training is not matching with the number of trainers that we have on the ground. That's creating a bit of problems and discomfort in the system. And HPCZ is tackling aggressively that component. And of course, quality is something that we have to work on aggressively. And here, I'm told that CIDAS working with us has been dealing with the phenomenon of patient-centered care. Patient-centered care is the way to go. I always tell the nurses when I go into a labor room that amongst ourselves as nurses, there are very few of us that can take even a minute to introduce ourselves to the patient. We seem to be so mechanical and automated. A lady comes, stressed and struggling, undress, sit there. Undress, lie down there, we are coming. It's so automated. There's no word like, I'm Alex Makupe, you need your wife for today. Can you imagine what kind of comfort and happiness it brings to a woman who's stressed and in labor when you just introduce yourself? Mr. President, just, I'm Alex Makupe, I'm your surgeon for today. That brings a lot of peace. There are very few of us now. When I'm managing hospitals, I tell my young doctors, I like to see your name. I like to see your name. Very few of us are willing to move with the name tag. Very few of us are willing to say to a patient, I'm your doctor. I am your nurse. I am your clinical officer. I'm your physiotherapist. My name is Alfred. When you come next time, you ask for Alfred. I'll be there. They'll tell me where I'll. Can you imagine that kind of communication? That is lucky. That is lucky. Just us being known. And each time I get a patient from the center, at the center, my main role is, for instance, to help patients that are coming from Chinga. How do I get a patient from a village in Chinga who needs to see a specialist and bring them into Lusaka? It's me who facilitates that. Is there an ambulance? Is it by road? Is it by air? And sometimes I ask the patient or the mother, who saw you at UTH? No, we don't know. How possible is that? That you are in the hands of the consultant. You don't know his name. You know the people he works with. I don't know. So you have to start looking back to say, which unit, which unit, which unit. And so we'll continue telling, and my boss is here, through him to say that we need to be very open to our people. Okay? Mr. Mwape, welcome. You belong to Unit 2. Unit 2 is your unit. If I'm not here, there is another one that you can see. If it's not there, this is the third commander. Like that. That way to be very, very good. And so, communication. The second component about patient-centered care is respectiveness. And in nursing, we talk about respective care. A lot can be achieved in respective care. Outcomes, it's been proven, outcomes can change for the neonate and for the mother if we offer a respectable maternal care. And again, amongst our peers, that is lucky. Okay? We need to improve on that. Then the other component that I like to say is that inpatient care is not every shoe fits all. This size fits all. I have protocol. It's not for all. For instance, I can put an example of cancer patients. The treatment of cancer, for instance, for a patient who is based in Osaka, can be slightly different for a patient who is coming from Nabuaria or from Pika. Okay? If I'm staying here in Osaka and have to see a physician at the cancer hospital, I'm within Osaka. I can easily walk there, I can easily get a taxi there. But to come from Pika to come here is extremely difficult. So when you're prescribing as a physician, look at what works for this patient, didn't it? What is it that can work for you and for me? It's all patient-centered. I liked it when I was walking through the Benz unit. The Benz unit in one of the facilities in South Africa, because South Africa, Benz is such a big problem. Here we don't have Benz, but there they can have Benz as a big challenge for them, for the community, because they use gas, electricity in compounds is normally connected. They don't build their small homes, they have curtain boxes. So when there's a fire, it sweeps across. And you see a lot of bays there. Now, one thing that I learned is that it's one thing to discharge a patient, and that patient can go home with a contracture. They won't be sealed, but it's in a contracture form. And that limb is useless. The desire is to get the patient home with a functional limb. so that they can do, if they were drivers, they could continue with driving and earning a living for their family. If they were a gardener, they can continue gardening and getting some vegetables out and feed their families. Respective care and patient-centered care, it means that you need to arrange a multidisciplinary team that goes to see where the patient is coming. What is the environment? What is it that we can help on this journey? Where can we find resources for sustainability? That's patient-centered care. Allowing the patient to come into what you are doing and being able to, provide that platform that allows the patient to fit in what you are doing. One time I managed a hospital, I told my team that let's not fear feedback from the people. Let's not fear feedback from the people. Once there, I told them that each time there is a discharge, you shall offer a questionnaire. Like we do in the bank. You see, when you go to APSA, when you go to Stanbic, just when you're getting your money and rushing out, this guy will tell you, "Sir, sorry, something. Just answer this questionnaire quickly." And it will be about the performance of that young man or young lady was helped. How many times did the doctor come? He only came once a week. I can think as such. Once a week. How was the food? Was the word smelling? How was the communication with the nurses? Did we give you medication at the right time? Basically, 3 times a day, and only came once. You're supposed to receive 4 liters of normal, so you only got 1 liter. And patients can give that information freely. They are not improving, and you read that. And they'll tell you where you can improve. They can tell us where we can improve. And this is what we should be doing in our facilities. We have to improve outcomes for our people. We need to strengthen mentorship and rely on you. I was just telling the PIGO that I'd like to meet them and see how best they can start to help us strengthening our teams on the ground. There is a lot that we have to do with our young people that are coming out of schools, nursing, radiology, doctors, all the cadres require mentorship. No one came out of school, president, and you were a star. No, we learned on the job. We became stronger on the job, and we were strengthened by the leaders that we found there. I'm one person who had palpitations when there was an ambulance coming. If I had an ambulance at 04, I knew it was a maternity delivery. And if I'm sleeping, that time there were no phones, there were no this cell phones, it was this big phone. And you were waiting for the midwife to call you because the ambulance has come around to put the paper on. When it rang, you knew you were in problems. Like 04, it's a PPH, it's eclampsia, and because you are very young, you had no solution in your mind. And one thing I knew that time we had these nurses that one had the blue band, they enrolled nurses, they enrolled midwives. Those were a gem. Nurses, the senior nurses that I had, those were a gem. And actually, if I got called as an intern, I only worked president for 3 months. And Zen, who has worked for 6 years, is calling me. What solution am I going to offer? At 3 months of working as a JRMO, and you start sweating as you are going to labor. And as you get into labor, she has already put the patient in the sotomy position. She's attempted to suture, and blood is pouring. To get a second on call that day, you need to tell the transport team to say, go and wake him up. The second on call, drive him. They drive to his home, they pick him with the land bus and bring him to the hospital. That's how we are dying. Get into theater, patient is gasping on the theater table. That's how we are maternal death that time. We need to strengthen mentorship. Siders, we need to strengthen us through ZMA, through ourselves. Mentorship. Without mentorship, there will be no quality improvement. There will be no quality improvement. Mentorship is well done where the cadre is seated. Mentorship is not bringing them to Lusaka, direct at Nyonga. Mentorship is us following them where they are seated. Then Fwanyama identify senior nurses and we take them to go and sit with our young nurses and they mentor using the resources available to them. Because you can mentor in a fancy place which does not exist in Fwanyama. We lost a mother in Fanyama one day where we had placed in a health post, a health center, a young lady, newly qualified, certified midwife, we placed them far away from the Boma. No network. She receives a lady who is fitting, magnesium sulfate is there, IV fluids are there, but she cannot cannulate. She cannot cannulate. Okay? So just these basic teachings will help us salvage many of our people that is struggling. Patient-centered care is the way to go. I'm well informed that the SIDAS is conducted, it's already doing some activities with 24 sites within the Lusaka province. We need to expand this there. We need to go beyond Lusaka so that our team members can get to know about this quickly so that care can change. Drugs this year will come. Drugs this year will come. We are well informed. By the end of this quarter, come March, the health center kits will be pouring into our facilities. End of March, Mr. President, the health center kit in our centers, and before again the end of this quarter, a mega procurement is taking place now. So we'll have commodities, we'll have drugs in our facilities. Now the component of quality of care from our side as human resource will have to be fine-tuned so that we lessen the suffering. I strongly believe that moving together with our partners, we can achieve everything. The Ministry of Health is ourselves, partners and ourselves. We are one because we are serving one population, and that's the people of Zambia. Together and not not working in silos, mapping of the activities that are being done by this one and the other one, notification, and us identifying our needs and calling upon the partners to come support us in the way to go. We remain very open as a Ministry of Health to work with you as partners. We remain very open to work with you as partners, and I'll be informing yes that this team is meeting today. He could have loved to be here himself, but it not been for his trip to Dar es Salaam to attend to other important issues. My coming was to come and encourage the team and officially open this meeting. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for those encouraging words. As you were talking, I was just trying to ask myself, as you reminded myself, reminding us of issues of quality. And one of the issues that you touched on was just the issue of reproduction. What does it cost? What does it cost? A small things are very, very different. I know the fact and we are told that it's so much different. How do we welcome our patients? And looking at that, how much does it cost? It doesn't cost anything. I think we've given us that challenge, reminded us, and I think we're going to use that too. And now I believe that we can't gossip about the peers, because what some of the things that we are saying are the ones that say we're just discussing our answers. Just now, by then the patient is back, they're really But now you are going to go around looking for this place, what's taking this, but it's something again that we have to work on the side. Just a point to please do to know that and it's shipping in the office way. So what we're doing is we want to try the site. Then after that, smart care and masters, they want to go into that so that they can make it to the team, they can train and so that every time the patient is needed, the facility, and that way will help us visit the staff, the infrastructure. So based on what I think we are desired. So we, I guess the owner will not be able to research recommendations, but a very good schedule. So what we'll do is we'll just take a picture with us. So thank you very much for coming and spending time with us. I think we are all entitled to the contribution. And as we go back to our sit down and sitting with everything, say how can we make this better? Some of them are not like it, others like it. But we are saying make our lives happy.